plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge of your seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucks.com/tickets. That's Bucks.com/tickets.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee.
Starting off with a little bit of a backup westbound on 94 from about 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got a couple pockets of heavy traffic heading through the stadium as well. Other than that, everything else is rolling along pretty well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, sunny and pleasant, a high of 68. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 46. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
If I was rooting for a place for him to go, I think it would be Baltimore. You add a legitimate wide receiver to what they have there.
So what's your first book? Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's kind of old, isn't it? They wanted to read a Truman Capote book.
Oh, sure. Truman Capote.
He's a great writer.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever read anything by him?
No, you?
Nah.
And on top of it, he did, put out the Instagram post of Edgar Allan Poe. Who? Edgar Allan Poe, you familiar?
So how's the book coming? I said, how's the book coming?
Oh, pretty good.
So what's it about?
Oh, it's about Holly Golightly.
Holly Golightly.
Yeah, she's quite a character.
Yes. You haven't read a page, have you?
No.
He's a guy.
He's a guy. Very,
I picked up on that.
Yeah, very, very famous poet.
Yes, I'm very familiar with Edgar Allan Poe, unlike some other people in the journalistic space. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
The Raven's mascot, his name is Poe.
I know. Listen, I know.
It's Poe.
You know, if it's not about sports, I find it very hard to concentrate.
You're not very bright, are you?
No, I'm not. I would like to be, but I'm not.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
We've got a great question. Before the show even starts on the ESPN Milwaukee Talk and Text line, 800-990-3776. What percentage Chewy are we getting today? Monday Chewy, fully revitalized Chewy. Justin in Middleton wants to know because the big guy is back.
I'm back, baby. I got to remember how to do this.
Wait,
how long has it been? It's been a while, huh?
Been over a week, yeah.
Yeah.
Been over a week for you.
I don't think people realize that.
What? Realize what?
You kind of forget how to do it, right? Do you?
Well, but here's the thing.
I mean, I feel like Devontae Wicks right now. You got to figure out how to catch a ball. How do you catch the ball?
But for you, the only thing is, how do you turn on your microphone? Because you just turn on the microphone and you're you.
Well, I'm very uncomfortable right now because obviously someone's been messing with my seat, the microphone. Not comfortable.
I mean,
getting better.
KBN still did their show every day while you were gone. So, yes, Kyle, I'm sure, has been, adjusting the seat as he sees fit. He's probably been happy because he hasn't had to adjust the seat in the afternoon when he sits there.
Yeah. No more. Yeah, good to be back. Wasn't able. I had to read most of the stuff because the NFL wouldn't trump Russian parliament over there.
Russian.
But we tried because they had a big screen at the pool, and I'm like, this would be perfect for football. So obviously Angie thought, Angie doesn't understand licensing.
Just thinks you can do whatever you want.
Says we're not licensed to play the game.
Yeah.
Well, just put it on. Can you airdrop? I have the NFL Network
on my phone.
Can we airdrop to the big TV? So I had to read everything. I was surprised at the Minnesota. I know we're going back, and you probably already
Hey, man,
you already
look,
litigated
this is Chewy. This is the Chewy check-in. Like, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you missed, if you want to talk about your time in Greece, if you want to talk about some of the games you missed, people have missed the big guy. They want to hear from you.
Well, what do you want to hear first? Do you want to hear the trip, or do you want to hear my thoughts over the past 2 weeks? Because the trip was outstanding.
Okay.
It was probably the best vacation we've ever been on.
Really?
Unbelievable.
Well, you're in a good mood.
Adam had me very nervous about going to Turkey.
He
and
did.
I'll say this about Turkey.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Great country.
And the people are so nice. And the airport in Istanbul is the nicest airport I've ever been into in my entire life.
Wow.
And it makes Chicago's O'Hare look like a dollhouse.
It's just massive.
Massive isn't a big enough word for it. It's like they had hotels you could rent in there by the hour. Ange didn't want to, unfortunately.
Well, I mean,
so
you had to ask.
Of course. I mean, it was just amazing. The whole trip, the cruise, Greece, everything was just.
What was the best part? I mean,
I'll say this about, because I think people have kind of a misunderstanding about Europe. I think people over there are extremely nice.
Okay.
Now there's buttheads everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. There's buttheads in this country. There's buttheads, but overall,
buttheads in this room.
The people, yes, very. Josh, you going to take that?
I'm not in that room.
Between you two. Good point. Food is outstanding. I was amazed on how clean it is. There's no now. Even in Greece, the only problem I had with Athens is why they let them tag everything. Spray paint, stuff like that. That's the only thing. But for the most part, clean as ever. The food is unbelievable.
Oh, the food is so good.
The TV sucks. The people over there dress much nicer than we dress.
Yeah, they're
Would
not.
You agree?
Oh yeah, they're not showing up. I mean, you and I wear hoodies.
Yeah.
What, 75% of the time?
I mean, they're decked out.
Oh yeah,
they're
great.
always outside, and I get why, because their housing sucks. Right. It's not very
pluses
it's
and minuses.
Not like here. So there's pluses and minuses to everything. But overall, I would give the trip an A. That's how great it was. Now I come back to a hurricane, but we'll discuss that. It's like we're playing Dallas in the Super Bowl. No, we can't play Dallas in the Super Bowl.
No.
It's like we're playing Kansas City in the Super Bowl, and they're favored by 21. That's how I feel.
That's
right
how
now,
you feel?
'cause it's dead nuts.
There's
at our house down there.
Oh, I can't imagine.
That is what it is.
I can't imagine what. I can't imagine what you're going through.
All right, so let's go to my review over the last 2 weeks.
All right, hit me.
So I was shocked at the Minnesota game because Minnesota, and I don't know if I still have that feeling. It's like, okay, the honeymoon has to end sometime.
Yeah.
But in talking to you, they're good.
Well, look, I mean, I don't know what the numbers are.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could probably text somebody from ESPN and get the numbers.
Yes.
I mean, what percentage of teams start 5-0 and make the playoffs? My guess is it's pretty damn high.
Pretty high.
You know, like 5-0, like 3-0, like,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, 4-0, they come into Green Bay, beat the Packers. All right. And then they win 5-0 in the NFL. Like, you have to respect it. You can't just go,
No.
And
they
just
beat you at
Minnesota.
home, and they were up 28-0.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was shocked by that, and you know how I like to read the stat sheet, especially the teams.
Oh,
and
the
try
team
to figure
stats.
out.
Yeah, again,
Because the team stats for that don't do it justice.
I'm sure. Because for those who don't know, because Chewy is just such a football savant, I could pick just a random game, and he's going to give, if I just give him the team stats, like the key team stats,
Yeah.
you're going to give me a pretty accurate representation of what the score was.
So then I read up on how the game went along, and the Toads aren't going to like this. They didn't play well. They stunk. When you come back and put up more yards because the other team's playing prevent all day long and just trying to hold on for a win, don't tell me the Packers played well. Okay, and I didn't even watch the game.
Sure.
Don't even tell me that. They got their ass kicked.
Okay.
And then you go to the Rams game, and I read the stat sheet there.
Yep.
And they got outplayed. They got outplayed. They were lucky to win that game against a bad team.
They were outgained 370 to 323.
Yeah.
The big one for you is probably the third down efficiency. Packers 1 of 8 on third down.
Terrible.
Rams were 8 of 16 and then 2 of 4 on fourth down.
Now, to this point in the season, they've beaten 3 teams that have a record of 4-10.
Correct.
Nothing to hang your hat on. Okay? So are they playing good football right now? Not really. But here's the positive.
All right.
Who cares? It's week 5. Right? They don't need to figure this thing out for a little while. The Dobbs thing, to the extent that it got to blew my mind. And I think I said it like way back in the season. I said the problem is you have all these receivers. What, did I get credit? Can I hear it at least?
So he wants to hear it.
Just give it to me. Chewy was right. He turned it all the way down.
Well, it's down because he's
Josh
got one music.
Chewy was right.
Holy.
Chewy
was right.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Jen insisted, so credit to her. I will be honest. I didn't think we needed to play it since you weren't here yesterday. But you did get your credit. We did play that yesterday when we discussed the Romeo Dobbs situation. Because you did accurately kind of say this was a possibility. Not with Dobbs specifically, but, hey, when you've got this many mouths to feed, this can be tough to deal with.
So I'm not surprised, but to the extent that he took it where he just didn't show up blew my mind, and that tells me a lot about him. But I will give him a pass because when you're young, you do a lot of stupid things.
All right, we'll get more into the Romeo Dobbs situation as we continue.
So back to what I was saying about the 2 weeks I've been gone. It's week 5. You think San Francisco's packing it up and calling it a season? No, they're going to be there in the end. They just need to figure it out. And the Packers are in the same boat. But defensively, guys just aren't playing. I'm sorry. Rashawn Gary, guy. Kenny Clark, guy. Quay Walker, guy. I mean, McKinney is playing outside of his mind, and if the voting came in today for NFL Defensive Player of the Year, he would. He is. So there's no reason to panic. Don't feel good about the Rams win. The Rams, without Cooper Kupp and Nakua, they're not a good team.
No.
I had you negative 10,000 to know Nakua's name.
Puka?
Yeah.
Did you really? Such a great name, though.
Look, I mean, especially after you called Dontavian Wicks, Devontae Wicks. Yeah.
Who?
You.
I just did?
Yeah.
I sure did.
A shame.
Yeah. Hey, you were cooking. I was just going to let it go. But to Josh's point, he did not think that there was any chance you would know Puka Nakua's name.
So they're fine. It's early. Love isn't playing great. He's got to play better. But they're winning games. Just stay in the mix. This is a different NFL. I'm telling you, it's a different NFL, baby. It just is. I don't think losses are as debilitating to teams today as they were back when I played.
Well, it just depends upon how big of a hole you dig yourself, right?
Yeah.
So sitting there at 3-2, it's not great. But, I mean, Cincinnati at 1-4, you kind of feel is.
But even if you look at that stretch, Gabe, that we were talking about in the preseason, oh my God, this Jacksonville. I mean, Jacksonville's not what we thought, and there are a few teams in there that aren't what we thought they were going to be, and that typically.
But I mean, that's just
NFL season.
That's the way it kind of goes. But I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to sleepwalk your way through this Cardinals game. I mean, the Cardinals aren't good.
No,
but they can score points.
But thank God they beat San Francisco last week. I'd be more concerned if San Francisco finished the job and then having them come in here.
Sure.
So. I'm not as worried about that game.
Yeah, the Dolphins aren't as good. I mean, especially with no.
Tua's probably going to be back by then.
Yeah,
so.
He could be. Who knows?
So who knows? And then the other thing from the takeaway was the Brewers lost was just like a dagger.
It was a swift kick to the manhood.
Tough.
It was hard
because I thought they had it. Because I woke up the next morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God! In the 9th, he gives up a 3-run dinger. So, what was the feeling after that? Good season, but wasted, or
kind of a wasted opportunity. I think everybody was sad.
There's sadness, overwhelming sadness.
Yeah.
And you were at the game?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
No, I wouldn't.
Wasn't great.
I wouldn't think it would be. So that's where I'm at. Not playing great, but it's fine. It's week 5, week 6. Plenty of time to get hot, but guys have got to figure it out.
Yeah, I've got some questions more about the defense. Like, does Jordan Love need to play better? Yes, he does. Do I think he's going to play better? I do. I don't know if the pass rush can be better.
There's really only one panic button thing that I think could be a problem that doesn't get fixed, and it's the pass rush.
Yeah, it's the front four. Well, it's not just the pass rush.
We knew that, though. We knew that. We knew they weren't at the point where they could create pressure with 4 guys.
I mean,
Chewy, I don't think you know how bad it is. Pass rush win rate, they're worst in the league. Nobody worse. Like, I thought you could at least be middle of the pack.
What's your guys' feeling on Lucas Van Ness?
I think he was always a project. I don't think he's producing, which he should be, but I'm much less out on him than I am on Rashawn Gary.
I wouldn't describe myself as in on Lucas Van Ness. I don't think I'm out. No. I don't know if I'm necessarily
Do we
in.
know what he is? Do we know what he is? I think he's a try-hard guy, and that's it. I don't think he has a lot of moves. I don't know if he can develop moves. He's strictly 110%, and
he's a project, so I'm going to give him a little more time.
How much time do you give a project?
I'm hoping, by the end of his second year, by the end of this year, he needs to show me some more signs.
I don't know if you're going to get it, Gabe. Do you know what Luke Musgrave is? I think he's a guy.
He should be a tight end of the West Coast offense.
I think he's a guy that can't process.
Yeah.
I just think he's that guy, and I think Kraft.
Well, again,
I think Kraft has the ability to be very, very good.
To your point, you said at the beginning of the season that when we started talking about the 6 guys, the pass catchers, the 4 wide receivers and 2 tight ends, they weren't all going to develop. Some of them might be the best that they've been. Some of them are going to, they're going to separate themselves. And so far, Kraft he's running circles around Luke Musgrave. Once he got on the field, it seems like Tucker Kraft, once he got on the field, was determined, you're not taking me off this field.
Yeah.
And if you do, I'm going to burn down your childhood home.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get more on that quote. We'll get more from Jason Wilde, more on the Romeo Dobbs situation as well as we continue. Jason Wilde next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Still a pretty good ride shaping up around the area. We do still have some delays, though. Westbound 94 from 35th Street to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's going to be slowing down out of the Zoo interchange all the way to Hawley Road. Another pocket of heavy traffic eastbound 94 just east of Barker Road, heading past Brookfield Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Sunny and pleasant, a high of 68. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 46. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
It's football season, and Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for all the action on the gridiron. With a game-changing rewards program, plus an amazing selection of tickets, Vivid Seats ensures that every fan can catch their favorite teams and players in action. Vivid Seats has you covered with deals that cater to every football enthusiast. And all tickets come back by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Just visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
On October 21st, 2006, Michigan State found themselves down 38-3 with less than 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they made that initial deficit like it never even happened, scoring 38 straight points to win 41-38.
Incomplete. The ball game is over. the Michigan State Spartans in one of the greatest comebacks in Michigan State football history.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Gary Olsen here from our friends at Best Electric Service, an A-plus Better Business Bureau, family-owned and operated, who have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's making panel upgrades to your home, installing your new Briggs & Stratton generator, or electric vehicle charging. Best Electric provides quality services at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Service. Find out more at bestelect.com.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He is our friend. He is our teammate. He is Jason Wilde. He joins us 3 times a week on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, gentlemen. How we doing?
We're doing great. So Chewy's back. I'm just going to kind of clear out. I feel like he hasn't talked to you in a while. I'm sure he's got plenty of questions. So I think Chewy just might iso ball this interview and just get him,
ball hug. Yeah. You kind of forget how to do that, Jason. When you take a lot of time off, do you kind of you got to get back in the swing of things? So it's almost like you're overly excitable.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't take a lot of time off. You'd have to have Tausch.
That's a good pop. Talk to me about Dobbs, Jason. It was immaturity? Regret it? Have you talked to him?
I have not. No, none of us have. I don't know if he was being a hermit during his 2 days that he chose not to come to work. But, again, I don't know where this will end up in terms of, like, what this does to his future. Like, Tausch and I were talking about this. Like, if you're the Packers, how do you not let this influence your thinking on any thoughts you might have about an extension, right? Like, I've done this for so long, and I don't remember, like, there have been things that have been done by players that were conduct detrimental to the team. But, like, even with Jair last year, which I think was the first conduct detrimental suspension that I've actually had during my time covering the Packers, like, yeah, he did something selfish, yeah, he did something knuckleheaded, but it's not like he didn't just show up for work. And, guys have overslept, guys have done this and that, but I don't think there's been a time where a guy just didn't show up for work and then the team sent a member of their security detail to his house to make sure, I don't mean to be blunt, but like to make sure he's not dead. Like, that's how rare this kind of behavior is. And so I don't, LaFleur said they had a good conversation and whatever else, but the bottom line is, it makes you wonder about this guy's decision-making, whether he truly is that all-for-one, one-for-all type guy that he claimed to be, like all these receivers have claimed to be about all the, no clear number one, et cetera talk. And what is he going to do the next time he faces adversity? Which, again, I didn't think he was facing that much adversity. I mean, yeah, he hadn't gotten as many targets as he'd like, but you don't think Greg Jennings was unhappy with his targets at some point? Like Donald Driver during that 2012 season when they brought him back, even though they really just brought him back to save the PR hit of cutting the Dancing with the Stars champion. Like, those guys, they all have egos, but I don't remember any of them ever doing this. I mean, the closest I can think of was when they had the big snowstorm up here, and they were picking up all the players so they didn't have to drive through it. And Jermichael Finley wasn't at home because he was in some co-ed's dorm room at UW Green Bay.
Yeah, he's a moron.
Your guy.
That is your guy, Chew.
He's a moron.
So how do the Packers go forward, though, Jason? Because I feel like LaFleur's in a tough spot because obviously Dobbs wants more targets, but you can't necessarily reward him for acting out and devise a game plan where he's heavily involved, but he's going to be back, so you can't just not have him involved, but you don't want to send the message of, oh, yeah, just pout and now you get your way, and here come 10 plays right away at the beginning of the game for you. Like, and I know he didn't really want to talk about it yesterday, but how does LaFleur handle this going forward?
Yeah, and look, I don't want to brag, but I did think that I stumbled upon the angle to get him to talk about it, and I thought if you listen to I think he answers 2 questions from me first, and then I brought up the fact that just a couple weeks ago we had been talking about how many guys they were playing and the upside of that, of getting guys involved and guys that aren't starters feeling like, hey, I have something to work for and look forward to on game day. I'm not just going to play on special teams. Like, the Evan Williamses, the rotation they were doing at corner, the number of defensive linemen that were coming in and out of the lineup, the wide receiver situation. Like, you could ask Chewy, like back in his day, there were some personnel grouping changes and different guys would get in, but it wasn't like Terry Mickens was playing 10 offensive snaps. Like, he was the 4th receiver. He didn't get to play on offense very often. And so when I look at what LaFleur was doing, I loved it. Like, I think I prefaced the question by saying, look, I know this isn't middle school basketball, but you guys are managing to get a lot of different players involved. What's the value in that? Little did I know that, like, literally 2 weeks later, one guy would feel like it was detrimental to his own targets and his contract push and everything else. So what I would argue is, given where Dobbs was in terms of targets and snaps, I don't think LaFleur's going to change anything, because that's the problem with this, right? Like, that's why we're all so mystified by it. It's not like he had played in 4 games, all with Jordan Love, and he had like 8 targets on the season. Like, he played more going into LA before he was suspended. He played more offensive snaps than any wide receiver on the roster. His 20 targets were only 2 fewer than the 2 guys that were tied at the top of the target chart. And I don't know if you guys saw Bill Huber, who obviously he has absolutely owned this story. I don't know who his sources were, but that you have not seen one single solitary word from the Packers pushing back on anything he said or reported. And in his most recent story, he had pointed out that Dobbs came to work on Wednesday, even though he was unhappy with his targets after the Minnesota game. And then he saw the game plan on Wednesday, went through practice, and decided that the game plan did not have enough focus on him, and so that's why he skipped Thursday and Friday. So your point is a very good one. How do you go about having enough in your game plan for him that he feels like he's going to be involved? But it's not like he wasn't. I mean, the dude had 8 targets in the game against Minnesota. Like, and he would have had his first touchdown if he would have caught that ball at the goal line cleanly instead of bobbling it and then falling across the goal line and into the, regular field of play. So I don't know what you do if you're LaFleur, because I'm sure when this happened, don't you think LaFleur was like, he's what?
Yeah, I think he was like the rest of us, Jason.
Jason, in your 2+ years of covering him, did you see this character flaw, or no? Did you think?
So that's a really good question. So and look, I've said this a bunch of times. I want to make sure I say it every time I talk about him. I don't know what else could be going on with him. Like if there's some sort of, and I do not say this lightly or flippantly, if there's some sort of mental health aspect to this, I do not want to trash the guy not knowing anything about it. But no one has said to me that that's a factor here. But Tausch gives me a hard time because I said he's probably the most even-keeled guy I've ever covered. And that was based on, like, his tone doesn't change in conversations. He doesn't seem to get excited about much of anything. He doesn't seem to get angry about much of anything. And I don't want to make this sound like, yeah, he's a quiet guy, kept pretty much to himself. Never would have thought he would do something like this. But that's kind of how it was. Like, you know, look, he is different. I don't want to say weird. I don't want to say strange. He is a different guy. And, you know, Billy Schrader, I didn't like him. He didn't like me.
Mm-hmm.
There was obviously we had some disagreements. Once kicked me out of a group interview. But like, hey, even if you're kind of a jerk, at least there's some sort of juice there, right? And he was just like flatline in every conversation. And it's not just me, it's everybody. Like he just, and it just makes me wonder if the old saying about still waters running deep and then suddenly there's this kind of eruption doesn't hold true with him.
Jason, is Jordan Love 100%?
I don't think he's 100%. I think he's close enough that he's able to practice fully. I think he's close enough that I don't think we can use that as too much of a crutch on his performance. I mean, you know, he ran pretty well on that 3rd and 12 that he picked up. So I think he's pretty close.
When are they gonna run out of excuses for the pass rush, Jason? Because first it was, well, we're kind of just mush rushing because the quarterbacks are athletic. Now it's, oh, well, our ends are getting
chipped a lot. Yeah, chippers.
I mean, I feel like we're running out of excuses at this point.
No, I'm sure we can come up with some others.
Okay, all right.
And look, again, having covered all these different coaches, like, you know, LaFleur is very, like, there are times where there are exceptions, certainly, right? Like saying that Sean Ryan wasn't in good condition, and that's why he was not, you know, having to rotate or whatever. But Mike Holmgren wouldn't have said, well, we're getting chipped a lot. Like, yeah, you know who else gets chipped a lot? T.J. Watt.
Yeah. Like,
Micah Parsons.
If chipping was this, like, grand, does it help? Certainly. But if it was this just grand solution to every pass rush, wouldn't every team chip and nobody would ever be able to get home?
Yeah. I mean, now, do I think that that all the proliferation of the McVay-Shanahan offense has a lot of chipping in it that makes things different than when, you know, Santana and Gilbert and Reggie and the great Gabe Wilkins. He was the one guy that I thought of, by the way, Chew, on the Romeo thing, like refusing to go back into the Super Bowl with a quasi injury.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was definitely a selfish move for my career. But, like, the pass rush is different than it was then, right? There's not as many 5 to 7 step drops. The ball comes out a lot faster now. So I get that. I get all these chips. But, again, somehow the Myles Garretts and the top pass rushers in this league somehow get home more often than the guy that was supposed to be elite in Rashawn Gary. I mean, I saw a chart somewhere on social media yesterday where his success rate, both in terms of sacks and pressures, has just cratered, and it is inexplicable for him. And look, Chewy knows this from my time covering him. Like when a player's struggling, the one thing I don't want to do is write about him or talk about him without talking to him. And so I have not talked to Rashawn. I don't know how revealing he would be about what his reasons are that he thinks he hasn't been productive. But I would hope that he would be honest and say, look, if I'm going to be as good of a player as I believe I am, it shouldn't matter if I'm getting chipped. It shouldn't matter if I'm getting thumped by the tight end. You know, I'm good enough that I can still affect the quarterback, and I haven't done that enough. I would love that to be his answer. So I'm hoping I get to talk to him this week. and see if that's what he says.
Well, Jason, we were talking about Lucas Van Ness, too, and, I mean, you look at Reed, plays like a first-round pick. You look at Kraft, plays like a first-round pick. I just think Lucas Van Ness is nothing more than a try-hard guy. I don't think he's very skilled at pass rushing. He doesn't really have a lot of moves, and we kind of I think I know what he is now. He's just a try-hard guy. Are they happy with his play?
I can't imagine they are, right? I mean, like he had the one sack. Was his sack against Tennessee? Felt like everybody had a sack against Tennessee except for Rashawn Gary. He's a big, strong dude, right? Yeah. And I think Tausch said this from the moment they drafted him. You know, he didn't even start at Iowa. Take that for what it's worth, and we can say that he was part of a rotation and this and that. And he's a young player, which is definitely true, right? He's 23. But I would just say that he looks to me like a guy. He's got one move, right? Like George Costanza's dad. That's my move.
Stop short.
And it's stop short and bull rush, right? I mean, because he is powerful, but you know, again, being around these right tackles all the time because we have Bulaga on every week, and I do one of the homer hours with him, and then Green Bay game day. Like, the fact of the matter is if you know a guy only is a bull rusher, then you can set your anchor against him, and if you're a big tackle who also can get his hands on you, doesn't matter how big and strong and if he's nicknamed Hercules or not, because they can set their anchor against you and they can basically eliminate you. And so I don't want to write him off because he's a young player and he is developing, but you nailed it, Chew. Like, you have to develop various pass rush moves because when they figure you out, you have to have something else for them that throws them off. And I can't tell you how many pass rushers I've talked to over the years that would tell you about how they got to switch it up and how they're setting guys up. Like, I remember having a great conversation with Julius Peppers, which was great in part because it was so rare to get him one-on-one and really get him engaged. But he was super engaged when I wanted to understand, you know, the process of setting up a tackle. And one of the reasons why he didn't at first like being a part-time pass rush specialist during his time in Green Bay, even though it made him much more productive and he was late in his career and this and that, was that, hey, I really like setting guys up. Like, I want to go and do this multiple times on rushes, and then they come to expect it, and that's when I hit them with the speed to power instead, right?
Yeah.
And there's a process to doing that, and at this point it would appear that Lucas Van Ness has not done that. I would add this, because I was part of this crew that was talking these guys up. I have no idea why and it may be as simple as Zach Tom not being in the lineup during much of the first half of training camp, but these guys were all eating the offensive line's lunch in practice. And as someone who always has believed in the value of practice, I have no idea what to make of this. Like, why were they so good in camp? And now, like, the Rams' offensive line was missing 60% of its preferred starters. And they still pretty much stonewalled them, other than Carl Brooks. So help me understand what happened. And no one wants to answer that.
Jason, for your sake, I hope Julius Peppers was not as engaged as Antonio Freeman was when he was showing you how to beat press man coverage. That's...
For those who have missed that story, that is a callback to him demonstrating in the locker room how to get away from a DB who's press man on him, and he was grabbing and pulling and pushing me while wearing nothing but an athletic supporter.
I don't think half our listeners know what a jock is. I mean, have you ever worn one, Gabe?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
so
I used to catch.
You had to wear one with a cup.
Yeah.
Baseball player.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to catch. I used to have. Yeah.
I mean, after that, I started wearing one of the locker rooms just so I had proper support.
You got to be ready, Jason. You never know. Apparently, at that point, you just got to always be ready. Jason, we appreciate the time. Look forward to hearing more coming up on Wilde and Tausch.
I love dude days. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde joins us 3 times a week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I do want to dive more into this Romeo Doubs situation. We'll hear from Matt LaFleur about this, and I want to get Chewy's reaction on how he would deal with this if he was a teammate of Romeo Doubs's. That's next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Eastbound 94, just before you get to Highway 83, got the left lane blocked with a crash. So we got backups from before Cushing Park Road, so that's going to be causing some delays through there. We've also got some more backups from about Highway 164 all the way past Brookfield Road, and then again from the Zoo Interchange through the stadium. Westbound, slowing down from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43, seeing some heavy traffic from just before Hampton all the way down past Capitol Drive. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, sunny and pleasant with a high of 68. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 46. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 24-count essential everyday spring water, $3.99. 45.5 to 50-ounce selected varieties Arm & Hammer laundry, $4.99. 18.2 to 24.5 selected varieties Gordon's Fish, $4.99. 32-ounce selected varieties International Delight Creamer, 2 for $7.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, oh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against San Francisco on November 24th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 6th.
Sarah, do you know what Monica has cooked up for Sweetest Day?
Here she comes. Let's ask her.
Monica, we were wondering what you've cooked up for Sweetest Day.
Imagine a pendant with the classic perfect Valentine's heart, the kind a grade school boy would draw for his girlfriend. Okay, so what makes it special? The heart is made of bright cherry red ceramic, and it's surrounded by 18 tiny little newborn diamonds.
Ceramic?
18 diamonds? Yeah, cherry red ceramic with 18 newborn diamonds, and it's only $128.
I don't know how many of those we made, but we didn't make enough. What else have we got?
A long stem American Beauty rose, 100% natural. Why would someone come to Kessler's for that? Because our full-size American Beauty roses are preserved forever under a shimmering layer of pure 24-karat gold. Kessler's gold roses are back! And they're just $99 for Sweetest Day.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And then you have Raj, who I didn't think he just didn't have the body type of a right tackle.
I have a question. I have a question. Who the hell are you talking about?
What's his name? Yash.
Raj?
Like, I was thinking, okay,
who's Raj? You tell us, buddy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I am very curious how Chewy feels about the Romeo Doubs situation that developed late last week. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but you provide us with the inside the locker room perspective that none of us have. And here is what Matt LaFleur said yesterday about Romeo Doubs in the meeting they had before LaFleur addressed the media.
On board with that concept? Or?
I think one thing that you totally respect about everybody is everybody has their own goals and aspirations and wants, but you just got to try to continue to keep it under what's best for our team. And ultimately, our job is to win football games. And how we do that, I would love everybody to go out there and get every number that they'd love to hit, but especially for myself and trying to set up this team, it's all about winning. And how do you put each piece together to go out there and win games? And we're fortunate that we have a lot of players that we have a lot of confidence in, and specifically on the offensive side of the ball in regards to trying to get everybody involved. I mean, it's a good problem to have, but it can potentially be a problem if you let it be. And I think for the most part, our guys have done a really good job of just putting the team first, and we're going to continue to stress that. And hopefully, they buy into that, because I am a believer, and I think we've seen it around here. When your team has success, generally all those accolades and come with that. So we're going to keep it about the team and continuing to focus on winning and doing our best to put everybody in a position to set us up to win games.
All right. Before I peel that apart, what is the first thing that came to your mind when this happened? And a player kind of did something like this, I want to say 10 years ago from Green Bay. Do you guys know who I'm talking about?
I don't, because honestly, Chewy, I saw that he missed Thursday for personal reasons. Nobody said anything, right? Just and LaFleur said this is day to day. So you see personal reasons on the injury report, you're going, hey, I hope everything's okay. Yeah. Then he misses Friday, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to sure if he's played Sunday. Huber drops the report later on Friday. Turns out he just did not show up to work Thursday.
This player wasn't. It was a selfish act by this player 10 years ago, which ultimately got him cut.
I think. Are you talking about Josh Jones?
No,
the corner?
Nope.
Selfish
Although that's
act,
a good one.
Selfish act about a decade ago. See, the problem is,
a decade could be 25 years.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's
that is.
So now we're just realistically, it's sometime when his career ended to now. It could be the last 25 years.
I'm going back to Europe. I thought for a day I would actually be treated nice as far as, hey, welcome back. But no, the piling on just starts.
Yeah.
That Ty Montgomery.
Okay, yeah, when he returned the kick, and that was about a decade ago. a decade ago. He's actually right. It's in the ballpark.
And he didn't
Chewy was right.
He didn't give a flying crap.
Chewy was right.
Totally selfish act.
For those who don't know, it was Packers-Rams, and Ty Montgomery was going to decided to bring the ball out of the end zone.
When he was told not
to. And then fumbled that kickoff return and did not give the Packers and Aaron Rodgers a chance to win the game in Los Angeles when they would have had a minute 45 or whatever.
And then he talked
left
to the press and couldn't give a crap.
Zero regrets.
So that's the first place I went. Now to peel this back, what do I think happened? I think LaFleur brought him in the office and tore him a new one, or he at least should have. Now, look, I played with, and I'm sure people would say, well, I don't even know why I'm bringing this up. People probably thought I was weird. Right? I played with a lot of weird guys.
Yeah.
That were quirky, that were to themselves, that were just different. I don't want to call them strange because I'm probably strange, but different. So
you got to be strange to play in the NFL.
Yeah. So my guess is he probably got ripped. He probably apologized. I don't know if it was sincere or whatever. LaFleur probably wanted him to apologize to the team in front of the team at their first team meeting. And I'll give him a pass because he's young. Like I said, young guys do a lot of stupid things, right?
Do you think this was just bad advice from like an agent, a
No,
friend?
I think this is pouty. I think he read the press clippings in training camp. He talked to Jair with the triple coverage. There's players that I played they thought they were better than they were.
Sure.
Okay, and I said this about Dobbs, which maybe his second year. He's a guy. You know why you're not getting a ton of targets? Because you're not great. You're not great. You're a role player. Accept your role. You played 2 games with a backup quarterback who had been here for 18 days.
Yeah, right.
You're probably not going to get a lot of grabs.
Well, nobody's getting targets when you throw it 13 times.
Sure. Now, I don't know what this morphs into. Is he a selfish guy? I don't know. I played with Sterling Sharp, one of the most selfish players I ever played with, right? We couldn't get over that. It's hard to get over that.
What was it like playing with Sterling then? Is that what you would compare this to? Because when Sterling pulled what he did, and for those who don't know, the night before you guys played Minnesota
opening day
to open up the season, Sterling said, "Hey, I'm not playing unless they give me a new contract." Now the Packers acquiesced, gave him a new contract, and he ultimately played.
So in that team meeting room, when he told us that, half the team was with him, and the other half clearly was not. Right. The one thing you did, and I love Sterling off the field. I didn't like him on the field because the one thing you knew about Sterling is it's all about Sterling. Right. If I need him to run a go route because I'm running a deep crossing route, I know he's not going 100%.
Yeah.
So one eye's got to be looking for the ball, and the other guy's got to be looking for the guy covering Sterling, whether he's going to peel back and take my head off, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't have to have that on a field. Now, it's going to be interesting. Don't you think it's going to be interesting on how the crowd reacts?
I think it's going to be really interesting.
I could tell you this. And I don't know how they do it in pregame before. You'd know better than me because I haven't been up there in years. Whether they run out individually because they want their swan song? Is that what that is?
No, I mean, swan song is like when you're retiring. It's your last one.
All right, but guys used
they
to
want
like
their
to run
flowers.
out
Yeah, and they still
by
do that.
themselves and get the cheer.
The Packers,
I guarantee you he doesn't run out by himself.
The Packers are one of the few teams that still do individual introductions.
Yes.
I mean, they rotate between offense and defense. I don't know if it's going to be the offense or
Might
defense.
Be a couple defense.
Yeah. Back to back with these games.
I also think to defend Sterling a tiny bit, he's a lot better than.
We're talking about Sterling potentially being a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
He's a little bit better.
But not that we like being selfish, but at least he had an excuse or a good reason.
But
how would you handle this as a team? Like, if you were in this locker room, Chewy,
like, who could you compare this to?
Yeah, how do you?
I would, how I'd handle it.
How do you welcome this guy back? How do you fold him in? Is it now awkward because it seemed like everybody was tight knit?
How I would handle it is exactly the way I believe he handled Jair at the end of last year. Okay, you got your one pass.
Yep,
you got your one pass. This is up to you. But you ever do this again? And there's a bus ticket and an apple, and you're out of here. This is because it is. I mean, it's and he's young. He's young, and you do stupid things. But this is an incredibly selfish act. It's about me, 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 me. What's in it for me, 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 me?
But I mean, to me, wide receiver is such a different. It's just a different animal because with Jair, you just put him out there on the field, right? Like he's going to get his snaps,
sure,
and that's the way it goes. And that's why I asked the question the way I did when we had Jason on of. Like, if you're LaFleur, okay, he's back. You want to get him involved in the game plan, but also you don't want to give him, like,
totally
15
agree.
plays where he's the number one target because then that just, okay, you act out, then you get rewarded, but you have to keep him engaged. I think this is going to be a really tough week, I think, for Matt LaFleur to try to navigate with Romeo Doubs.
Which he shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
But going back to Jair, special players get special treatment, right? Romeo.
It's not a special player.
You're not a special player, and he's got to understand that. My guess is that meeting was pretty long. I'm sure he regrets it. He's a fool if he doesn't.
Well, the one thing I thought of.
With you can't develop a game plan like, we got to keep this guy who's just an average guy happy.
The one thing I thought of, and usually we've had this conversation, Chew, around injuries. But the one thing I thought of is how you always talk about when you couldn't play and how you just felt like you were letting your guys down.
Absolutely.
And this is like the ultimate, and you felt like that, and you weren't the only one, clearly. That's I think why you guys had so much team success that you did, because there were a lot of guys that when they were injured, they wanted to push back because they felt like they were letting their guys down.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing physically wrong with Romeo here, and he let his guys down.
Yeah, he was just pouty. So, I mean, a good apology will go a long ways. It'll go a long ways.
Okay.
If he stands up in front of the team and said, I made a mistake, I had a lapse in judgment, I was selfish, it was all about me, I apologize, I'm going to work my ass off to gain your respect now. I know I don't have your respect right now, but at the end of the season, I'm going to give you all I got. I had a lapse in judgment. But I wanted to ask Jason, and I'll ask you guys, and I'm just talking receivers. Is this the most disappointing position group to date on the season?
That is a deep question, Chew, and we're going to answer that question coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you are planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. It's ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee, and it has deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music. Go to their website, stkatearts.com, to book a reservation and learn more.
The Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales, Luther Gray.
James Imaging has been a wonderful partnership with the Milwaukee Symphony and just great to work with.
In what ways?
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
Luther James Imaging Systems is a local business technology company that stands with their clients over the long term.
Yes, before, during, and after the sale, James Imaging is there, and they are making sure you get the full value in life of every product that you have with them.
Luther, any advice for others looking for a long-term business technology partnership?
I would tell them that James Imaging is the way to go.
Start your business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems today. It's easy to do. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
You know, I couldn't stop talking about it to my family and friends. My knees are my trouble spot. But for me to tell them now that I'm doing so much better, they were amazed, and I've been amazed.
QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies. Yes, it is amazing how these non-surgical treatments deliver joint pain relief for patients like Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor.
Each week, I just started noticing that I could sleep and not have pain. I could play pickleball. I could do a CrossFit exercise routine.
QC Kinetics revitalizes your joints so you can move again without the pain pills or invasive surgery.
You know, I'm 60 years old and I want to stay competitive as long as I can. And QC has allowed me to do that. They did me right and really made a difference in my life.
Book your free consultation with QC Kinetics today and experience the difference for yourself.
I like to go, move.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
At Great Midwest Bank, we've been serving Southeast Wisconsin homeowners for nearly 90 years. Wait, 2024 minus 1935, 89 years. Wow. In our 89 years as a community bank, we've learned a lot about the values of the people who live and work here and appreciate the loyal customers that have made Great Midwest Bank who we are today. Find a location at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnofthebog.com.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and I have great news. Fields Volvo Cars Waukesha has the Volvo you want in stock and ready to drive home today.
Come see our full lineup of Volvo SUVs, the XC90, XC60, and XC40.
So stop by Fields Volvo Cars Waukesha and take a test drive.
Plus, you'll be part of Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and gourmet coffee service. Integrity and customer satisfaction will always be the force that drives our business. At Fields Volvo Cars Waukesha, go to VolvoCarsWaukesha.com.
A standout performance.
Love to the end zone. Watson spins his way for the touchdown.
A player who energized the team.
He goes to the air. It's intercepted. Jair Alexander high-stepping for 6.
It's time for the current electric superhero MVP of the game on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He's put it in the air this time. It is through there to Wicks and a touchdown.
Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as big as a whole home rewiring or even a generator to keep your lights on, call the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com.
Here's Love. Wide open. He's got Kraft. His tight end's running with stiff arm. Kraft's going the distance. Tucker Kraft. He plays the game the way it was meant to be played, with an edge, said his head coach, and you saw it right there.
Tucker had a great game on Sunday. Certainly worth that superhero of the game mentality from Current Electric. The problem, though, Chew, is Jason keeps on wanting to make this Tucker Kraft Chewy. Like, did you ever have anything like that? 66 yards in your career?
I had 88.
88?
Well, in college.
All right.
Fumbled at the 1.
Excuse me?
Fumbled at the 1.
Wait, wasn't you? So you're telling me you had an 88-yard reception that wasn't even a touchdown reception?
Correct.
Fumble recovery touchdown.
Wait. Did you recover it?
Yeah. I did I don't know how the ball was there because I wound up doing a barrel roll and it just popped. After I did the roll, the ball was right there and I grabbed it at the 1. Yeah.
Who was your coach? Was it Coughlin?
Yeah, it was Coughlin. Yeah.
I'm sure he was.
I was about to
chill
say,
about
I'm
that.
sure he was very calm when you got to the sideline.
He just said, "You're lucky you recovered that fumble." I started the celebration just a tad,
just a little
too
early. Were you running out of gas?
Yeah. 88 yards.
It's a long way. You got the pads, the helmet, you get the whole 9 yards.
What? Like, how did it happen? Like, how were you? And I'm not trying to be mean towards you.
I split the safeties. It was cover 2, and they wound up trying. They tried to hit me while I caught the ball and hit one another. And
that's
so
comical.
I was off to the races, and at least I got ran down by a DB.
If you got ran down by like a linebacker, that would have been embarrassing.
Were you just for 20 yards saying, please don't catch me, like just hoping? Because you see players now look up at the video board to see where the guy is behind them.
Yeah.
I imagine BC back then didn't have
No, this was at West Virginia in it was 92, and they still didn't have video boards. I don't know if it would have helped, Joshy. But I did catch a ton of grief, and people are jerks. I had just torn my plantar fascia, first game back.
Yeah.
Playing Denver. It's the game we blew out Denver.
Oh, in the Super Bowl year.
No, not in the Super Bowl. It was we played them during the regular season, and Elway wasn't playing. We blew them out.
Yeah, the Super Bowl year in '96.
So Brett just does a quick hey chewy, which I means just go off the line and look right away. I did, and my plantar fascia hurt, and I got caught by a D lineman. I'd never live that down.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair, though. You got caught by a D lineman.
I was going to say, I think if that would have happened to Keith or someone, you probably would have been on that side saying, hey, what are you doing getting caught up there like that?
Sure.
Chewy proposed an interesting question. We answer that question in 2 minutes on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Eastbound 94. We got to back up with an accident. It's just before Highway 83. The left lane is blocked with this, and delays all the way back past Sawyer Road. Then we got more delays through the Barker Road area, and then back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange all the way through the Stadium interchange. We do have a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder, right about at Hawley Road, so that's going to be adding to your headaches. On the westbound side, we got backups basically from before 27th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Southbound on 43, backing up from before Bender Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. And then along southbound on 41, slowing down from Good Hope Road down on and off the brakes to about Silver Spring. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, sunny and pleasant, a high of 68. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 46. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash, where you can expect nothing but the best unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. Located in Oak Creek, Waukesha, Greenfield, and now Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together, we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. Aria, nestled on the second floor of St. Kate, is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Delighting in its offering of artisanal American cuisine, the restaurant transcends tradition and leans into the realm of playful and inventive flavors. Come and experience the magic of Aria, where every bite is a work of culinary artistry. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
If I was rooting for a place for him to go, I think it would be Baltimore. You add a legitimate wide receiver to what they have there.
So what's your first book? Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's kind of old, isn't it? They wanted to read a Truman Capote book. Oh, sure. Truman Capote. He's a great writer. Oh, yeah. Did you ever read anything by him? No. You? Nah.
And on top of it, he did, put out the Instagram post of Edgar Allan Poe. Who? Edgar Allan Poe. You're familiar?
So how's the book coming? I say, how's the book coming? Oh, pretty good. So what's it about? Oh, it's about Holly Golightly. Holly Golightly. Yeah, she's quite a character. Yes. You haven't read a page, have you?
No. He's a guy.
He's a guy. Very
I picked up on that.
Yeah, very famous poet.
Yes, I'm very familiar with Edgar Allan Poe, unlike some other people in the journalistic space. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
The Raven's mascot, his name is Poe.
I know. Listen, I know.
It's Poe.
You know, if it's not about sports, I find it very hard to concentrate. You're not very bright, are you? No, I'm not. I would like to be, but I'm not.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like
Chewy asked the question, we tried to answer the question. And you can answer along with us, 800-990-3776. 5 games in, who has been the most disappointing positional group for the Packers? Chewy, you think it's the wide receivers?
I do.
Why do you think it's the wide receivers?
I think it's the wide receivers because the only other group I'd put up there would be the defensive line, and we talked before the season started that, or at least I did, I said I don't think they can create pressure with their front four, which is coming to fruition.
Correct.
This group we thought would be a leader of the team. Now, I understand you got to give them a small little pass because 2 of the games was played with a backup, but they still have to throw the ball. But outside of Jayden Reed, who's having a great season to start, you'd have to say everyone else has kind of been disappointing. Even Dobbs, 12 receptions, no touchdowns, which last year he had a handful of touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of a touchdown machine for the receiver group. Wicks can't catch a ball. I mean, that's the worst game he's played as a pro. against the Rams. I mean, those were 3 legitimate drops.
Yeah, I mean, the last one, I don't know.
No.
It's not a... I mean, should he have caught it? Sure.
I mean, but based upon...
But also, the throw's got to be better.
Based upon what we thought this group was going to do in the preseason, we thought... I mean, there was talks about Wicks potentially being the number 1 guy.
Yeah.
That's not even close.
I mean, he's still getting a ton of targets. He's getting open. Sure, he's got... I think he has to catch it, but to me, Jayden Reed is 5th in the league in receiving yards.
Yeah.
Like, they at least have a star. And they have somebody
special.
Yeah. And they have somebody in Wicks because he gets open so much. Like, at least he has that going for him, right? He's got that going for him. Like, okay, we've seen him be able to make the catches before.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a case of the dropsies. Maybe you can get up there and teach him how to get over that.
Drugs machine.
Okay.
Christian Watson, 5 receptions.
But, I mean, Christian Watson's going through what we think, basically what happens with Christian Watson. It's not the hamstring, it's an ankle this time, but missed a game already. Who knows what happens this week?
But he's done nothing.
Correct.
Nothing.
Correct.
Bo Melton, who turned it on towards the end of the year, has been...
he's the 5th receiver.
No, I know, but remember I said in the offseason, I'm like, this is going to be fun this year because... And I'm talking before the season started.
Yep.
I said the separation between the 5 or 6 or 4, whatever it is, isn't that big. That's why I want to see the excitement of, I mean, as misguided as Dobbs is.
Yeah.
I want to see people separate. And so far, the only one that is separated is Jayden Reed.
I would say Jayden Reed is separated. And again, like, as Wicks is getting so open all the time, like, I'm still excited about him. I have to go with the defensive line. True, I have to go with the defensive line because at least with Wicks, who's playing poorly, there's something to be excited about. There's something to go, you know what? There still might be something here.
But I'm just saying to this point in the season right now, they're the most disappointing. I thought they would take their next step. At least a handful of them would take the next step, and the only one that has is Reed.
But with the defensive line, like, there's nothing to get excited about. It's not like, oh, hey, Rashawn Gary, at least he's getting pressures. He's getting so close, you know, he's going to start getting home. Those sacks are going to start piling up. He's below league average in pressure rate.
I know, but Leopards don't change their spots.
Kenny Clark, a couple times a game, Chew, would like break through the line and go, oh, okay, there's Kenny. He's been non-existent.
Non-existent.
Like, there is nothing to me to be excited about of the front 4. At least with the wide receiver group, you have Jayden Reed. There's excitement there. Like, this guy is in the middle of a breakout season. I don't know how that defensive line gets better. I don't know what there is to be excited about through 4 games with that defensive line.
I don't think they do. And what I was referring to, Leopards don't change their spot. This was the same issue with Rashawn Gary at Michigan. I want to say he was the number 1 recruit in the country. Michigan is very excited, and he was meh.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, is this a case of get paid and, you know when I'll turn it on? When I'm a free agent.
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt coming off the ACL, but he's been getting worse.
There's no more benefit of the doubt.
The longer we get from the ACL injury, Chew, it's like he's worse because he had 2 3-sack games last year, which, again, great.
Yeah.
But they happened early in the season. He didn't have a sack in December, in January, hasn't had one in September, so far the first game in October. And 1 sack in 12 games. Well, I guess he had the 1 sack in September, but it's because the lineman didn't get off the ball.
And they've played, and it's kind of surprising to say this, but out of the 5 games, they've only played 2 explosive offenses. Philadelphia and Minnesota.
And they lost both games.
But not only lose, they've done nothing. How many sacks does Gary have?
1.
Which was a gift.
He did have 1 taken off for penalty.
Okay, all right, Josh. All right. I understand that you want to, be the Gary apologist here.
But I'm not surprised.
I don't think I am at all.
Why? That's not even worth pointing out.
You can't say you're surprised on how they're playing. We knew that there was a potential to play their way they're playing.
Here's the thing, Chew. Like, right now, they're not even just guys. They're below guys.
Yeah.
Like, if they were just guys, they would be performing so much better. They're performing right now as a unit, as a defensive line, so far below average. I can't even. Did I think that the Packers would be 32nd in pass rush win rate?
Yeah.
No, I did not think that was possible at the beginning of the season.
But
imagine how much different league average would be. They would seem like this defense would seem like monsters.
Yeah.
If it was league average.
But let's just put, let's just calm down to think that me and you are all about doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Okay. Which we have a point to be a little doom and gloomy, but it's only the 5th game of the year.
But I don't know how
they're not good enough to win the Super. This defense is not. I don't care. Now, I like Halfley and what he tries to do.
Yeah.
But they're not good enough. This defense is not good enough.
Chewy, we got a new name for Gabe that someone gave him yesterday.
What?
Johnny Raincloud. He hasn't been excited enough about wins, so the people are calling him Johnny Raincloud.
The people. One person.
I like it.
You're supposed to be
but
with
it's
me.
Unfair.
You're
It's
supposed
unfair,
to be
Gabe.
with me, man.
I'm telling you, it's unfair, but I kind of like it.
Chewy loves a good pop, no matter who it's about.
At
Johnny
Choo-choo.
Raincloud. I want one for me.
Hey,
though.
Josh.
I'm a little jealous.
Josh, you want to get this? I got a knife. Get that out of my back.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be simpatico. You're supposed to be with me.
Where is this? Where's this defensive ranked now?
League
wide.
In points, they're
Give me point.
Points, they're 14.
And then yards.
21st.
Do the math, because it's odd numbers.
You mean you want us to average 14?
Yes, he wants to average 14 and 21. That's just remember,
This is what it falls into. I can still call myself middle of 6.
So what's 25 divided by 2? 35, sorry.
35 divided by 2 would be 17 and a half.
So that's about where they were last year, right?
Yes, the big difference is turnovers, which they already have more turnovers than they did last season.
Yeah. More interceptions this year. I mean, Xavier McKinney's going to have more interceptions than the entire team did a year ago. He's got 5, they had 7.
Through 5 games. Is that a big enough sample size, 5 games? I think it is.
I mean, it's
are you blaming?
quarter mark. Yeah.
Because they're pretty much the same as they were last year. So are you blaming the players or are you blaming Joe Barry Carroll?
To me, it's the players. Because the times that they've gotten pressure now, Chew, it seems like it's been well-timed calls by Halfley. I feel like he's been doing everything that he can. And there's only so much you can do when literally every pass rusher, every defensive lineman you put out there is below league average in getting home. There's only so much you can do, right? You
I
can't,
agree.
You can't blitz 100% of the time.
Well, you can't blitz, and I missed on this guy, I'm telling you. Quay Walker. I thought he would be move him around, playing.
He's a guy.
He's a guy. And people are going to go, well, he's a leading tackler on the team. You know who's supposed to be the leading tackler on the team?
Middle linebacker.
Your middle linebacker. Your middle linebacker.
If your safety is your leading tackler on the team, that's going to be bad for business.
I don't want to get dragged down in that rain cloud over there.
Just off vacation.
Are at least power rankings going to be positive?
I think so. I think the Packers should be in the top 10.
Yeah, I think they'll be right.
I think they'll be there.
The thing that makes it interesting, and we talked about it yesterday, is no teams really set themselves totally apart. The Chiefs keep winning. It doesn't necessarily look the prettiest, but
I mean, they look pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, but they're there's a lot of teams just in this sort of 3-2, 4-1, 2-3 mix where it's
do you like it? Do you like that though, or do you want dominant teams?
I want the Packers to be dominant.
Yeah, I guess I'm.
I mean,
I'm
is the parity too much where you're like, Packers are just another team and a mix of about 10
I'll tell you what I hate. I do hate the parity, Chew. I'm out again. In the Survivor pool that was restarted after 3 weeks. I took the Seahawks at home against the Giants.
That felt pretty safe.
That's what I thought.
Don't worry, it's going to start up again in another 2 weeks.
Give it week 8.
Yeah.
Going to be running it back again.
Yeah.
At least I got one right this time around.
What do you care? You don't have to work now for another 3 weeks.
Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
We will go through power rankings coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, but I do want to tell you that you can tune into Thanalysis Show each and every week. It's presented by Gruber Law Offices. Thanasis Dedecumbo hangs out with special guests for fun, even surprising conversations. Maybe it's his live show with Giannis, a chat with Green Bay quarterback Jordan Love, getting the inside scoop on fighting with Logan Paul, or any one of TA's unique guests. Find Thanalysis Show on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. Plus, you can subscribe to Thanalysis Show on YouTube to see exclusive video content from Thanasis. Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
And Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey,
Analysis. The Bucs start up yet or no?
Eastbound 94, we got to back up with an accident. It's just before Highway 83. The left lane is blocked with this, and delays all the way back past Sawyer Road. Then we got more delays through the Barker Road area, and then back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange all the way through the Stadium interchange. We do have a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder, right about at Hawley Road, so that's going to be adding to your headaches. On the westbound side, we got backups basically from before 27th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Southbound on 43, backing up from before Bender Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. And then along southbound on 41, slowing down from Good Hope Road down on and off the brakes to about Silver Spring. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Today, sunny and pleasant, a high of 68. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 46. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash, where you can expect nothing but the best unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. Located in Oak Creek, Waukesha, Greenfield, and now Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, all you sports bettors, if you aren't making your wagers at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, then you are missing out on an elite experience. It is a complete sports betting paradise, a state-of-the-art venue with dozens of self-service betting kiosks, seating for more than 200 people, a first-class bar and restaurant, a VIP deck, and, of course, the broadcast booth, where we bring you the weekly wager, most Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. If you're short on time, they also have a free 20-minute reserved structured parking area. They have figured it all out. Bet above the rest. Only at Potawatomi.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at lowtusa.com.
Hey, you. Daydreaming about that perfect house again? Hi, it's John Reeds from Great Midwest Bank. And whether your dream includes buying or building or renovating your current home, I'm happy to report that mortgage rates are finally starting to turn around. So make those dreams a reality with a custom-fit Great Midwest Bank mortgage product. We've been serving Southeast Wisconsin homeowners for nearly 90 years. Find a local experienced loan officer at greatmidwestbank.com. We can't wait to get started. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with Unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Are you looking for a reliable ride? I've got you covered. It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. I use AccuTrans Group for my private transportation needs during the college football season. AccuTrans is a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and event-related transportation that you will use again and again. From corporate travel and weddings to group events, AccuTrans Group caters to every occasion. Booking is easy, safe, and dependable. Visit AccuTransGroup.com to get a quote or to book a reservation today for reliable and safe transportation.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Unbelievable that they ran all over this vaunted defense, this elite defense.
What Kool-Aid?
Why? It was poop Kool-Aid, and we gobbled it down.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Before we get to power rankings, just a random question here on the talk and text line that I think we need to address. Joshy, were you at Mobcraft on Saturday evening?
I was.
Okay, Stevie just wanted to know. He texted, "Hi, Joshy, were you at Mobcraft last Saturday evening?"
Hey, Stevie.
What is Mobcraft?
A brewery.
Yeah. Stevie, come up and say hi next time.
Yeah, don't text the show. Don't text the show. 2 days later.
I'll say hi.
Yeah.
I'll have a conversation.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. So feel free, Stevie, to go up to Joshy. It is time for Power Rankings.
It's Chewy's favorite segment of the week.
Hey, big guy, you catch the game?
It's Power Rankings time on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You catch the game last night? Can I say yes to you?
What will the big guy have in store for us today?
See the game last night?
Which game?
Any of them.
Okay, I just went through the list. It's weird, but fine.
Okay.
It's weird.
Weird, but fine.
Fine.
Weird, but fine.
You know what would be bigger than guessing the NCAA pool across the board?
Yeah.
For someone to pick the last season of Power Rank, or the last week of
be able
Power
to hit
Ranking.
all 10?
Because I can tell you this, through 5 games, there wouldn't be anyone out there
No.
that hit these power rankings.
No, because especially the team that I'm assuming is at number 2, I don't think anybody would have had near the top 10.
No. And there's another one in there that's very weird. So with that, give me number 10.
They lost to...
I have no idea how to organize.
Yeah. Okay, I will say this is where... I'll say Seattle. Hanging on there, still lead their division, but they've lost 2 in a row, just lost to the Giants. Barely hanging on to the top 10.
I'm going to put the 49ers at 10.
Number 10 are your Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
Yeah, they were an afterthought.
Yeah.
Really? You didn't think they'd be top 10?
I did not.
Was that a big win in Pittsburgh? It's a win.
It's a win.
I mean, it's an impressive win.
Something.
I mean, they went on the road and beat a team that had a good record. Yes, that counts for something.
We were just talking. We were talking about San Fran, who eventually they will figure it out.
Yes.
You think Dallas
could go? You could tell me that Dallas figures it out and wins 11, 12 games,
and then lose in the playoffs.
Yes, or you could tell me that they just completely fall apart. I don't have a feel for Dallas.
I don't either. I don't have a feel for a lot of these teams. Number 9.
What about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I'm going to say this is where the Green Bay Packers live.
Gabe is correct. Your Green Bay Packers are number 9. I'm just trying to decide if that's fair because their 3 wins have been against kind of turds, but a win's a win. Do you guys think so?
I think it's fair, just being barely in the top 10. Although, according to the playoff standings, the Packers would not be in right now.
According to what?
If you go to the playoff standings, Packers would not be a playoff team right now. They lose tiebreakers.
All right, I'll go a little deeper before I give you my thoughts on Green Bay at 9.
Okay.
Go 8.
Is this where they are putting the Commies?
I think the Commies are going to be higher with just 1 loss. Commies are playing good football. I am going to say... I'll go Atlanta.
Tampa Bay Bucks are number 8.
Okay.
And I'll say that now, Gabe, because Atlanta is 14.
What?
Which I don't think is right.
Wait, they just beat them. I mean, I understand they probably shouldn't have, and Tampa Bay kind of filled their shorts in their last drive and didn't even get a field goal attempt. But, like, at the end of the day, that still has to count for something.
That was one of my head scratchers.
Okay.
Okay. Tampa Bay's 8. Let's go 7.
Go back to the commies.
Yeah, I think the Commanders got to come up here soon. Like, they're not a top 5 team, but they're fun.
All right, Commanders are, in fact, number 7.
Okay.
This is one of the teams that's, like, head-scratching. How are they 4-1?
Jayden Daniels.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And somehow a defense that improved after giving away their good players.
Yeah. Give away all their good players and get better.
Well, that's Dan Quinn, right?
That is Dan Quinn.
Yes.
So that would,
Will they be there in the end? Who has a better chance being there in the end? Commanders or Cowboys?
Whew. If Jayden Daniels ends up just being like the rookie of the year, then I feel like the Commanders.
Yeah, like
But they're one of those teams that's like, okay, all right, we get it.
Yeah,
now start
yeah,
losing.
and I'm strictly putting it on like a guy who they don't have a lot of tape on that seems to be overperforming.
Yeah.
Like sometimes rookies just have an entire season that is otherworldly.
Yeah.
That just happens sometimes because it's not all the time.
Stroud, yeah. But he's having a better season than C.J. Stroud did.
To start, yeah. I mean, he's completing like 80% of his passes. It's outrageous.
All right, good for him.
But it has to at some point like start to taper off. Like it can't be this good.
Yeah, I mean they didn't punt for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that is good. 6.
AO.
I'll say the Ravens beat up on them, so they got to go be higher. I will say, the Bills make the most sense here.
Brian D. and his AO Buffalo is 6. If they get Devante.
Oh, look out. If they get Devante. I think that's going to send them over the edge, and they're going to start to click.
I mean, what's happening there?
Well, so Diana had the report, Diana Rossini of The Athletic, saying that both Devante and the Raiders wanted him traded within 48 hours. That was yesterday, so that could be.
And Devante didn't play in this last game,
correct?
Right?
Well, he's not playing until he gets traded.
So he's definitely getting traded.
Oh yeah,
yes.
I got to imagine, and I think there's a pretty good chance it happens today. He was also supposed to be on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams.
Yeah.
And so she tweeted that out yesterday. Hey, he's going to be on tomorrow. And then half hour, 45 minutes later, followed up with, he's got a lot of things going on. He's not going to be on tomorrow.
You think he wants to go with Rodgers or no?
100%.
You think he wants to go with Rodgers?
Yeah.
After all that happened in Green Bay?
Yeah. His preferred destinations are the Jets and the Saints because of his familiarity with the quarterbacks.
With Baltimore and Kansas City as long shots.
Buffalo's a long shot. Pittsburgh's a long shot.
All the long shots seem like the better options for him.
Yes, correct. Much better.
I don't want to see him in Kansas City.
No.
Don't worry, neither do the Raiders. I don't think that one's happening.
All right. 5.
This has got to be... Because the rest of the teams, you've got enough one-win teams here that I don't think they're going to put them below. It's got to be a Ravens, right?
I mean, you could convince me...
Win-loss, sorry.
Yeah,
Win-loss.
you could convince me to put the Ravens higher. Yeah, I guess it's got to be the Ravens.
You guys are right. Ravens are number 5. Have they figured it out?
I think they have.
To me, they still seem a player away. Did you say Devante's...
Well, so he...
Hoping to, not hoping, but the Ravens want
he posted a picture last week on his Instagram story of Edgar Allan Poe.
Do you know who that is?
Yes. He's an author.
Hey. Do you know his most famous work? Yeah.
Is he from Baltimore?
What's his most famous... He actually might be. What's his most famous piece of work that Edgar Allan Poe had?
The death of someone.
A poem called The Raven.
I almost got it.
You're right there.
Oh, I get it now.
No.
Hey.
I've missed you so much.
You function when you've been living for the last 10 days with an 8-hour difference. I think. Math was tough on this cruise.
It's
8 o'clock.
He's blaming. He's saying he's jet lagged.
It's 4 o'clock. It's 4:30 for me, really, right now.
You should be cooking.
So are you hammered?
No, but if I was in Greece,
You got a little wine in that Mio jug over there? What's going on?
Ooh, did I drink a lot of wine?
Yeah, I can only imagine, especially when you told us how cheap it was. I can only imagine the amount of wine you drank in Europe.
Delicious.
Edgar Allan Poe was not born in Baltimore, but he did spend most of his life there. You can visit his house, which is now a museum.
Oh, really? Okay. 4.
I'm going to say Detroit.
I'm with you.
Detroit, you are correct. Is this easy or what?
Well, they didn't play, so I feel they were a one-loss team that was going to fit in there.
The
They've had a lot of
three
respect.
were the tough ones. The rest of this kind of fills itself out.
Yeah.
Okay. They've been Detroit. I thought they'd be a little better at this point. Not playing great, but who cares? It's week 5.
Yeah, they're 3-1.
Yeah. All right. 3.
Texans.
Texans are good.
Texans are good.
Texans are good. That's 2 weeks away?
That's 2 weeks away at home. So they've got home versus the Cardinals this Sunday, Texans the following Sunday.
That's going to be should be a great game.
Hopefully.
Should be a great game. 2.
Minnesota.
Yep.
Got to put them there. And 1, Kansas City.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, look, I mean.
You guess.
Well, I've been out of the loop.
As much as it pains me to say the Vikings should be 2, they have to be 2. Like they're sitting there at 5-0.
Yeah, I don't think at the end of the season we're going to be looking at them at 2 in the power rankings.
Hold on, bigger shock, Minnesota or Commanders?
Ooh, that's tough.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
How did we miss? How did everyone miss?
Because Sam Darnold's not supposed to be good.
Uh-huh. I don't care.
He's not supposed to be good.
There's
right now,
52
he
other
is.
players on the team.
Sure, but the quarterback is so important. You know this.
Yeah, it's mostly 75% of the pie goes to Sam Darnold. We knew about their weapons. Any competency at the quarterback position, they were going to have a fine offense. He's just playing like one of the best right now.
He's Jackson Churio.
No.
Minnesota is Milwaukee Brewers.
No, because I don't know who. Because Jackson Churio, Jayden Daniels is Jackson Churio.
Yeah.
Like, it's a rookie that we're not quite sure, and then he's
know.
just balling out. Like, Sam Darnold is, like, I don't even know. Again, the only way I can explain this is Minnesota's done this one other time. Granted, different coaching staff years ago with Case Keenum.
Yeah, Keenum.
When Keenum came in and was whatever, I mean, he had a tremendous record, and they had a good run that year, where Keenum's like, okay, he's just a backup, and then he balls out after Sam Bradford got hurt.
I think I'm more mad than anything. I would rather see the Bears at 2 over Minnesota. I'm just saying.
I would not.
When I played, I hated Minnesota.
I would not.
More than I hated the Bears.
Sure, but I'm telling you this right now. There would be a lot more annoying Chicago fans to deal with if the Bears were 2. It would not be fun.
I think I would feel better with the Bears at 2 over Minnesota. I just do not like Minnesota.
Which is fair. Again, that
certainly don't like
them. I
them.
don't like them. Yes. I want to make something perfectly clear. It's not like I am, wearing, yelling skull and clapping my hands together. I think it would be easier if, with them at 2 versus the Chicago Bears.
That's a good list.
At number 2.
Good list.
The next best round of your golf, it's going to happen at the Wisconsin Country Club. Join me out at the Wisconsin Country Club. I joined there, been out there for a year. I love the golf course. It's a fun, challenging golf course. I can't wait to get out and play it a couple of times this week. And what's great about the Wisconsin Country Club is there's no assessments, no food and beverage minimums, and that beautiful course. But maybe, you want to be involved in a little bit more with the club than just the golf. Well, Wisconsin Country Club has tennis, pickleball courts, and a pool with themed Sunday fun days each and every week, so something fun for the kiddos there as well. Get started today. Visit thewisconsincountryclub.com for membership info. The Wisconsin Country Club, just a fairway away.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 4394. We got some backups right around the Plainfield curve all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue. Eastbound 94, heavy ride from the Zoo interchange all the way to about 35th. Westbound is slowing down from 27th Street through to the Stadium interchange. We've got southbound 43 also slowing down from just south of Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound on 41, backing up from Blue Mound Road in pockets all the way up past Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, sunny and pleasant, a high of 68. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 46. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey, this is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here to tell you about QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people get their life back, and I was able to see that with my own very eyes. I went and checked out the Greenfield location, got my free consultation to have them take a look at my back, and it was unbelievable. All the tools that QC Kinetics has in their toolkit to help people get their life back, enhance their joints, and finally get rid of that nagging joint pain. The free consultation I had was a robust diagnosis to help me figure out what the best personal journey was back to health. There are so many things at the cutting edge of cellular treatments that QC Kinetics is utilizing to give countless patients back their lives again. There's already been tens of thousands of satisfied patients all throughout the country, and you could be one too. It's finally time to get your life back and visit QC Kinetics just like I did and get your free consultation. Call them today at 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Gary Olsen here from our friends at Best Electric Service, an A+ Better Business Bureau, family owned and operated, who have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's making panel upgrades to your home, installing your new Briggs & Stratton generator, or electric vehicle charging. Best Electric provides quality services at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Service. Find out more at bestelect.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm going to go with the corn dog, the old corn dog, the corn dog for the
pierogies
birthday.
and borscht all day long.
That's just crazy. Nobody likes borscht, let alone
God,
on their
it's
birthday.
so good. It's the only thing that makes my mouth water, other than my wife.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Apparently, Joshy's got a bad reputation.
I read that one and I thought, what the heck? I was super nice to Daniel.
You think if someone gave Joshy a disparaging nickname, he would tell us on the air or no? Rain Man?
Again,
What do they call you? Rain Cloud?
I'm Johnny Rain Cloud. Yes, that was the nickname that I can't remember who texted that in yesterday. And again, they said I usually don't agree with Johnny Rain Cloud, but he's right here. Like so, I got the nickname. He tagged me, tagged me with the nickname, and then agreed with me. It was like a double whammy.
Hey, you hear who got whacked yesterday? Johnny Rain Cloud.
But Daniel the Sloth, in response after Stevie said, "Hey, Josh, were you at Mobcraft?" Said, "I tried to say hi to Joshy one time. He blew me off and completely ignored me."
I could see that.
Read the second text.
JK, LOL, Joshy was super nice.
I was going to say, I sat and talked to Daniel for like 5 minutes. That feels nice, right?
No, that's hey.
Apparently, on Saturday, Stevie said he did sit next to you, wanted to say hello, but you and some friends were in a deep conversation. Couldn't listen yesterday. Next time I'll say hello and get you around.
Does Josh's personality
I'm going to tell you this right now.
Can I ask, because you've been out with Josh.
Yeah.
Well, we went to, what's the place in Waukesha with the Blammer?
Oh, when we went out to Q Club. Yeah.
Does Joshy's personality change after a few pops? Because he's very flat, monotoned. which we love.
He
Doesn't
gets-
get too high, doesn't get too low.
He's a little more animated. When Josh is sober, he does not like people. When Josh has a couple pops, Joshy starts to like people.
You sound like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are very similar that way. You start to like more people the more drinks that are consumed.
Yeah, you can ignore people's deficiencies and you start to have a good time.
I'll tell you this, Stevie. I cannot imagine a very deep conversation was happening with Josh and his merry band of fellows at Mobcraft on a Saturday night.
It was a little deeper than usually would be happening at the bar on a Saturday.
Okay.
Josh, can you travel by yourself? Can you go by yourself?
Like out?
Because a lot of people can't.
Like, what do you mean?
Go out by yourself. Go sit at a corner bar.
I typically wouldn't do that because I would rather just be like at home watching sports or reading a book or something. I have gone, I was single for a long time living on my own. There's plenty of times I went to a coffee shop or went to a bar early and expected people to show up later. Like, I've gone to movies alone, dinner alone.
Yeah.
I can totally do that by myself. Some people can't.
Oh, yeah. But because some of those things are supposed to be social, right? Like you're supposed to meet people out. You're supposed to, if you're going to, have dinner, like you're supposed to go with somebody. And yeah, a lot of those things are social.
I've also done a lot, like if you have a friend who's working at a bar and they're not able to talk to you the whole time, but I will still just hang out there alone. That's to me is fine.
You'll just be, because you just can be a reprieve for them from time to time if
Every
they just need
10,
to.
15.
They
quick
just
chat.
step away.
Yeah. Okay.
When's the last time you went and ate a meal by yourself?
Probably not that long ago. I don't have a problem.
I just feel
like silence.
It's tougher. It's so much easier now though, since COVID, because like everybody has takeout. Yeah. So like I feel if you're going to eat a meal alone, usually you just like you order it, you pick it up and go home.
Like we traveled with a group from Florida and a buddy of mine down there. I put his wife in emoji jail. Can only communicate. She asked too many questions, so I said, you can only communicate with sign language. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. You can give me the middle finger if you want. You can do whatever. But you're asking way too many questions. I need silence. Was that wrong?
You put her. What was her reaction?
She went in emoji jail.
Was she playing along?
Yeah.
Obviously, it was fine then.
And then she tried doing it to me, and I'm like, "Nah, that doesn't work."
Wait, why do you get to be?
Because I'm the boss.
Emoji jail Gestapo.
I'm the boss. That was refreshing, though.
Yeah, I had a recent issue where someone was talking way too much after a few too many pops, and it was a situation, and I think we've probably all have been there ourselves or been around someone is. Someone's had more to drink than everyone else in the room, and it's kind of hard to do anything else but be annoyed by that person. That's never a good spot.
I just don't understand their shopping. I don't understand it at all. How you can shop so much and not buy anything. Like, I'm not going to my buddy, hey, you want to go walk around Home Depot and touch stuff and do that? No, I think guys need a mission.
Okay.
Am I right?
Look.
This is crazy.
I don't know how we pivoted to this so quickly.
Because I'm just venting on some of the things
I understand.
on my trip.
I understand.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, will you buy something? Just buy something. We've been shopping in every port for hours, and you have nothing.
What were they looking for?
They don't know.
Because, so I'm going to be in Scotland next week.
Yes.
And there are a couple of golf courses that I will be going to that I did not go to the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
And so I might get something out of the pro shop. So I'll kind of wander around the pro shop and not quite, maybe it's a hat. Maybe it ends up being a ball marker. There's finite number of things it can be in golf, but I'll wander around like.
But are you going to call a buddy up and go, hey, you want to meet at Golf Galaxy? I don't need to buy anything. You want to just walk around?
No, I will not do that. I am not going to look at Steven Watson, who is, we're going on the trip with On the Tee and go, hey, Steven, let's wander around the pro shop at the old course together. No, we're not going to be doing that. No, that will not be on the agenda.
Okay. I was fascinated.
What do you do when your Amazon privileges get taken away? How do you shop?
Tell the kids to buy me stuff. Oh, I'll beat the system, Joshy. I'm pretty
I don't
pretty
think
good
we should have
that.
said that aloud. That's going to get back to her.
She's in Dallas. She's fine.
Yeah, she's got spies, though.
Yeah, a lot of spies.
Yeah, that's true. I don't call them spies, though.
What was the last?
I call them rats.
What was the last thing you had to ask a kid to buy you because your Amazon privileges were taken away?
I need some stabilizer, gas stabilizer.
Doesn't she catch on that, like, hey, this kid typically wouldn't order this?
No, she just looks at the names. Or the addresses, actually.
Okay, so she doesn't actually look at what is in the
I was
order.
gonna say, like if you're buying new lawnmower blades.
Yeah.
She's very concerned because
what does Gianna want to do with
I
lawnmower blades?
had to get a new truck because my other one was getting old.
Okay.
And it's a diesel.
Ooh. I noticed the new truck in the garage.
I have 6 notes inside the gas tank that says diesel that she highlighted in there. And I filled it up for the first time, and I grabbed the regular gas thing. I'm like, it's going to happen, Gabe.
That's an expensive going to happen.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Why are you so... I mean, I think you're going to get used to it. I mean, you almost did it the first time, sure, but now that you know...
Don't diesel vehicles also have, like, the yellow portion on your car to tell you, like, hey...
Yes, it does, but the problem is they make the hose thing that goes in there bigger, so a regular gas thing fits in there. Which is on them.
But can't you tell it's a little loose, like it's not in there?
I suppose. It's going to happen.
You're just resigned to this happening.
I'm just trying to think of an excuse.
Well,
to get myself there. Josh nailed it. It ain't going to make her happy when I do fill it with gas.
Correct.
But at least I can cushion the blow by going to see my guy, Dean, the dancing machine.
He's always going to help you.
At the Jewelry Center. Earrings, custom jewelry, and repair services. The Jewelry Center does it all, including top-of-the-line engagement rings. And when it comes for that day for my 4 boys to take their next step, you can bet they'll be heading to the Jewelry Center for their engagement rings. The Jewelry Center offers great deals and selections on both lab-grown and naturally mined diamonds for rings. Plus, you always hear about how Gabe went to the Jewelry Center and had a great experience with the Jewelry Center specialist to pick out that perfect ring. So if you put regular gas in your diesel, make sure you stop by one of their 3 locations, Brookfield, Greenfield, and Burlington, to get your butt out of a jam. Or check out their full inventory online at shoptjc.com.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Hey, Milwaukee sports fans. It's Brad Nortman from Kyle Bruston Nortman. You've invested too much into that nice ride, so don't settle for a gas station car wash. Treat it to a Tsunami Express car wash. State-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and unlimited wash memberships. Now with 5 locations across greater Milwaukee, Tsunami Express is your go-to spot for a flawless finish and a first-class car wash every time. Trust me, your car will thank you. Sign up for a membership online at TsunamiExpress.com and get your first wash free. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 24-count essential everyday spring water, $3.99. 45.5 to 50-ounce selected varieties Arm & Hammer laundry, $4.99. 18.2 to 24.5 selected varieties Gordon's Fish, $4.99. 32-ounce selected varieties International Delight Creamer, 2 for $7.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, oh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against San Francisco November 24th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 6th.
Hey, sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' taste. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivateba.com/MVP to book today.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. Aria, nestled on the second floor of St. Kate, is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Delighting in its offering of artisanal American cuisine, the restaurant transcends tradition and leans into the realm of playful and inventive flavors. Come and experience the magic of Aria, where every bite is a work of culinary artistry. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
363. What's that?
The number of yards they gave up on the ground against the Philadelphia
It's a
Eagles.
Bible verse, John 3:63. Look it up. Tell us what it
I
says.
thought it was Joe 363, and it was "Thou shalt not get past me on the line of scrimmage."
On 94.5 ESPN.
Justin in Jacksonville says, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the cap for diesel is green. Is that true? I guess I've never really paid attention.
It is, but I'm colorblind.
It's not good.
No, I am. Browns and greens.
Yeah, I understand. But that's not good for you trying to figure out which one is going to be, supposed to go in the diesel truck you now have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I knew it was a different color.
Yeah.
Green, yellow.
I've never owned a diesel vehicle, so it's never really concerned me all that much.
Do I make it a year?
You know what? I've got faith in you. I don't think you're going to do it. I think that you are perceptive enough that you're going to notice when you do it. You may get as far as putting, the regular unleaded gasoline, right there. But before you even lift up the handle, I think you're going to realize it doesn't quite fit. You're going to pull it out and put in the diesel.
But one positive is you can't get diesel at every gas station. So now I'm resigned to all I do is go to Quick Trips.
Yeah.
Because not all Quick Trips sell diesel.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be a little wake-up call.
Yeah, that you have to go to the same
one every time.
So you'll get into the routine. You'll know which one to grab. Yeah, I think
Gabe
that's great.
I kind of had your back earlier, didn't I?
No, not even a little bit.
Not even in Chewy terms?
Stabbed me in the back.
I pulled it out.
Yeah, then you let him bleed out on the floor as I laughed at him.
I didn't have any Band-Aids.
Okay, so Chewy, just quickly, I'm just getting frustrated with the explanations they have for this pass rush. Because for the first 2 weeks, it's like, we were just kind of muddle rushing and lane integrity because we're playing athletic quarterbacks, which I'm sure is going to be the excuse again when they have Kyler Murray coming to town this weekend. But this past week, it was, our ends are getting chipped a lot. Look, I understand chipping slows down pass rush.
Yeah.
But as Jason said, I'm sure TJ Watt gets chipped. I'm sure Myles Garrett's getting chipped. How on earth is someone like Aiden Hutchinson getting 6.5 sacks? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's code, Gabe. It's code for we have one guy that's not playing the way he's being paid. Actually, 2 guys playing. Because I did see a quote where Hafley said, I need to get more out of Rashawn Gary, and Rashawn Gary needs to get more out of me.
He said that last week.
I think they know they don't have the personnel, which is fine. And we said this. Is he going to be able to play the defense to a T the way he wants it done? I think the answer to that is no. He's just trying to figure out how to do it with what he has. Okay?
Yep.
They got a great piece, unbelievable piece in McKinney.
Good. Really good piece.
And they're just going to have to backfill in places where they're able to play his defense the way they want it. And, I mean, there's a lot of football left. They could still figure it out, but I still am going to stick to they're going to have a shot, but I still think they're a year away.
Hassan Reddick was a name that was floated in the talk and text line. I apologize where, it's been lost because it was brought up earlier in the show. I will say this. Ain't no chance. The only reason Hassan Reddick is not playing right now is because he wants to get paid.
Yeah.
The Eagles did not want to pay him. The Jets, I think, wanted to pay him, but apparently didn't want to pay him enough. At this point, the guy hasn't played football. Like, I'm not trading for him and then going to pay him because that's what it would take for him to get on the field.
Yeah.
Not doing that.
Not happening.
Although, again, I understand why you would think that. I don't think it's a realistic outcome or possibility. Wilde and Tausch coming your way next. 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound on 94, right about at Highway 164. Looks like we've got a crash off on the left shoulder. Things backing up towards Highway 16. You're back on the brakes from the Zubiter change all the way through to about 35th Street. Westbound 94 is just a little bit tight from the stadium, or from the Marquette all the way to about 35th. Southbound 43, a little heavy from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today.